Recently, a good friend of mine reminded me that when I did my top 7 cocktails of every spirit, I never covered tequila's slightly smokier and just as delicious cousin, Mezcal. So today I'm here to fix that. Mezcal is a beautiful spirit. It's smokier and more peated than tequila, but it still has that beautiful agave taste that tequila has. And the beautiful thing about Mezcal that tequila doesn't have is that you don't need a whole lot of it to really know it's in the cocktail, which is what you're going to see today. As with the 7 cocktails that I have, Mezcal is not the primary spirit of all of them. And in a lot of cases, I wanted to show that it's also just as good as a secondary spirit. But I'm talking way too much. Let's go on ahead and get mixing. Cocktail number 1 that we're doing is just a simple Mezcal margarita. This is going to be a natural margarita made with Mezcal instead of tequila. Mezcal can be a substitute or replacement for tequila depending on how smoky you like your drinks. But let's get started. Alright, to start this baby off, we're going to need 1.5 ounces of Mezcal. One ounce of lime juice. And 1 ounce of Combier or Combier, which is a French orange liqueur. If you don't have Combier, you can use Cointreau or Curacao, but Combier really helps to highlight the Mezcal better than those two. So here I have a large rock inside of a salt-rimmed rocks glass, as is traditional for margaritas. And then I'm just double strain. And there you go. The first cocktail we went over, a Mezcal margarita. The next cocktail we're doing is called a Division Belle. Let's get started with this one. We're going to need 1 ounce of Mezcal. And what you'll notice with a lot of these drinks is that we're not going to use a full 2-ounce pour really at all of Mezcal, because if you put too much in it, it can get really, really smoky to a point where it's not appetizing at all. 3/4 ounce of Aperol or Select, really any bitter orange aperitif, not Campari though. 3/4 ounce of lime juice, and 1/2 ounce maraschino. We're going to take our cocktail glass, double strain that. And then for garnish, we're going to do a nice hearty grapefruit twist. And there you go. Cocktail number 2, the Division Belle. Let's go into our first Mezcal secondary cocktail. This one's called the Honey Trap. So rather than using Mezcal as the primary spirit, we're actually going to use it to rinse our glass. So pour about 1/4 ounce of Mezcal into the glass. And I'm going to show you real quick how to rinse a glass without an atomizer bottle. You just swirl it around. And then you dump out the rest. And that is a Mezcal rinsed glass, once you can smell the smoke. Alright, next up we're going to make the actual cocktail. Start off with 1.5 ounces of tequila. Of course, it's called the Honey Trap, so we're going to use 3/4 ounces honey syrup. 3/4 ounces of lemon juice. And 1/4 ounce ginger juice. This is very similar to a penicillin, but a tequila-based version of it. Shaken. And then since we have the Mezcal rinse, we're going to do just a quick shake and dump. And there you go. Cocktail number 3, the Honey Trap. First stir drink of the video, we're making something called a palomesque, which is similar to a paloma, but we're using Mezcal and Lillet Blanc. So to start off, we need 3/4 an ounce of honey. Add a little bit of ice. 1.5 ounces of Lillet Blanc, which is a French aperitif wine. 1 ounce of Mezcal. One ounce of grapefruit juice. And 1/2 ounce of lime juice. You want to stir this until your mixing glass gets nice and frosty. Right there. We're going to do just a quick stir and dump. And then before we do the seltzer water, I like to put in a nice grapefruit wheel for some garnish. And then top it off with seltzer. And give that a little swizzle, just to really get the seltzer combined in there. And there you go. Cocktail number 4, the palomesque. Cocktail number 5, we have a sour cherry margarita. I wanted to add this one in as well as the classic margarita before to show how to do a flavored margarita with mezcal. And this is going to be the exception to the rule where we are actually going to use a full 2 ounces of mezcal. Start off, we're going to need 3 tablespoons of sour cherry puree. And if you want to know how to make your own sour cherry puree like I did, get 2 pounds of cherries, coat that with 1/3 a cup of sugar, roast that in an oven for 400 degrees for about 10 minutes. Then put that in a blender, blend it until smooth, and then strain it out. It's delicious. And yes, it is worth the effort of pitting all those cherries. And to that puree, we're going to add 2 ounces of our mezcal. And 1/2 ounce to 3/4 ounce our Combier. Again, you can use Cointreau or Curacao, but Combier is what I think works best with mezcal. And I'm probably changing my pronunciation of Combier every time I say it on accident. I genuinely don't know how you pronounce that. Strain it out. The sour cherry puree might still have a little bit of bits in it, which is why I'm still double straining it. I love the color that the puree gives this cocktail. And there you go. Cocktail number 5, the sour cherry margarita. We're straying away from the more Mexican style cocktails for a more Italian style cocktail. This is a mezcal Negroni. I don't know who is the genius who made this, and I don't mean that sarcastically. I mean they're literally a genius. But we thank them for their service. Start off with 1.5 of mezcal. Half an ounce of Lillet Blanc or Coqui Americano, but I have Lillet on hand. 3/4 ounces to 1 ounce of sweet vermouth, and 1 ounce of Campari. Give this one a good stir. This is similar to one of the actually the very first cocktail I ever made on this channel when I covered my Smash Bros cocktails, where I made a spicy mezcal Negroni for Mario. Strain that into our glass with a big rock. And then there is no debate on this guy in terms of garnish. It is always a nice, fresh orange peel. And there you go. Cocktail number 6, the Mezcal Negroni. Final cocktail of the day, we have a cocktail called the Tawny Little Blood. We're actually going to break out a new glass that I got, and we're going to start off by putting the orange slice garnish right in there, so that I don't have to try and snake it in later. Start off with 2 ounces of tawny port. And we're going to put 2 slices jalapeno in the mixing glass. Then I'm going to do 1 ounce of grapefruit juice, 1 ounce orange juice. I use Tropicana because I'm a Rays fan, but Simply is good too. And 1 ounce mezcal. Shake that up. And then we're going to double strain this. And there you go. Cocktail number 7, the Tawny Little Blood. And I think that this is a beautiful cocktail, very similar to the Blood and Sand in color. In my opinion, mezcal can really hold its own against tequila. It might not be as popular, but I think that's a crime. Mezcal has a nice smokiness to it, as I already stated, and especially with good mezcal like Casamigos, you can really make some great cocktails, and it's great sipping on its own. Alright, I have officially undone my sin of skipping out on mezcal. Next time I'll probably look at brandy or some summer cocktails, because who doesn't love seasons? Alright, everybody, you enjoy yourselves, cheers, and have a good night.